on day trading. What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Elaine Forney,
on day trade.
and I'm actually living in North Kingstown, Rhode Island right now. Well, I'm actually retired, so what I do for a living is I'm a trader. That's what I'm doing now for a living.
My name is David, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm retired. Right now I was in aerospace with Boeing.
My name is Richard Serrano, and I'm from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm a network field engineer, and I do telecommunications.
My name is Phil Scheib, and I am from Alaska. I am retired locomotive engineer.
My name is Leanne Jack, and I grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So I'm a web designer and a front-end developer.
My name is George Brooks. I am originally from New Jersey. I've been in IT for the last 33 years. And in between that, still cutting down trees, climbing trees, and all that other stuff in between.
My name is Terrell Lee. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I work at a small used car lot just to get out of the house.
I discovered this whole community of traders in the trade room, which, you know, I knew I was sitting in front of my computer at home all by myself, and now all of a sudden here is this community out there, which I found very generous. Everybody was so supportive and welcoming. It just really blew me away.
What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Josh Levitin. I'm from Bethpage, New York, and I'm the senior instructor here at Cybertrain University. What makes our on-site class so great, aside from the networking aspect of it all, just having our students meet each other for the first time, is the fact that myself and Fausto are very hands-on with our students in the sense of just being able to literally overlook their shoulder and watch their trade, what they're focused on from their platform.
Some news came out, I think just popped.
While I can comment on what they should focus on online, they might not be able to understand that as well compared to having us right there in front of them.
I kind of like the idea of not being in front of a computer 8 hours a day, because I can't do that. So I kind of like the idea of doing it in the morning and then going to do all the other stuff I need to do.
Everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner. Yeah, it's like it's not worth it.
When I spoke to Fausto on the phone and he interviewed me, the thing he said the hardest thing for me to do would be to unlearn the things that I previously learned. And it turns out that's 100% true. And the stuff that I'm learning from him and from Josh and everybody has really made all the difference in the world in understanding what a day trader is and how it actually works.
Fausto and the staff at CTU University, they're really on top of everything. They give you good trade choices, and they keep you alert onto whatever's happening in the market at the time for the day.
Right, so we made a profit. What did I just say earlier? Just take the money and run, because guess what? If you didn't take it, how would you be doing right now? Now you're losing money. You're just trying to make that day's pay. That's all you're looking to do. You got it, you made it. Listen, for every stock, if that kept on going, for everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner.
I don't think you're going to find a better support team in the stock trading business anywhere. That's why I'm here at the platinum level.
You know, a lot of people want to go out there and trade and don't know if it's for them or not. And guess what? That's okay, because it's not. And the thing you have to look at is you have to find a mentor, you have to find a school, you have to sample a couple of things with a couple of schools out there, do a couple of classes, and you make the choice. But don't make the biggest mistake that people make. Go out there and be part of 90%, maybe even higher, of the failure rate in today's industry, because people want to try it before they learn. I mean, would you ever want someone to work on your loved ones that never went to med school? Or how about just giving your finance money to some financial planner that never learned finance? We are no different, but you are on the right path. The right path is you should be doing it on your own. And by doing it on your own, you need a mentor to show you how to do it. And that's what you're going to get here at Cybertrain University.
Welcome everybody, my name is Fausto from Cybertrain University. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that quick little video. Let me just share my screen and we're gonna get started. Just give me a second here, please. Hold on one second. Where are we? Let's get my PowerPoint. There we go. All right. Let me know if you guys can see that okay. Let me just share my chat. There we go. All right, perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Fausto, and hopefully everybody's going to be getting ready because we're going to talk about supplementing your income by trading 3 hours a week. It's a great little topic. I think a lot of you like the idea that you don't have to do this full time. But before I do that, I'm just going to share something really quick with you. I'm going to show you what we're going to be covering. Could everyone see my level 4? Can everybody see my level 4 really quick? Just let me know if you can see that fine. Yep, you can see it. Okay. So basically, I just want to point out something right here. And let me get my little pointer so you guys can follow along. Where are my animations? There we are. All right. So I want you to see this order right here. Does everybody see that right there? Everybody see that right there at $8? There's 165,000 shares looking to be sold right there here at the bottom. You could see here at 9:30 in the morning. This guy's been out there and he's been adding. So basically, how does this stock market go up and go down? Supply and demand. And I'm going to teach you the beauty of how easy it is to trade by just following the money. And we're going to go come back and check back on it and see how it all pans out once it's over. So let me get back to my PowerPoint. Let me move this over here. And there we go. Well, don't worry about level 4. You don't understand it? That's okay. That's what we're here to cover. But let's get right into it. And let me just tell you a little bit about Cybertrain University. But before I do that, I just want to give everyone a little bit of a warning just for compliance issues. Please understand results can and will vary from student to student. There's no guarantees, no promises, no warranties regarding about me teaching you how to make money, how to do it. This is strictly educational purposes. What you do moving here forward is your business. It has nothing to do with us. We're just here to how to teach you how to play the game because I have a very passionate about teaching people how to trade. And Cybertrain universities want to be held responsible on any of your trading. So just want to make that clear before we move forward. Now, I want to do a quick poll question before we get started. And I'm going to have a lot of good polls, okay? And my first poll is going to come up right here and want to get to, what are you looking to learn? All right, that's really what you're looking at, what you're looking to learn. Let me see. Where are we? So, okay, everybody just tell me, what are you looking to learn? How to trade, charts, scanners, psychology. What are you guys looking to learn? How to consolidate market, how to scan the market. Okay, JP. The first 3, Jose. Okay, I like that one. Polar wants to know a little bit about psychology. Nancy wants to learn about scanning, looking to learn how to trade, Rick. Okay. John wants to know a little about cryptos. Okay, so let me just tell you about that, John. We're here to specifically talk about stocks. We do cover cryptos at Cybertrain University, but that's another, class in itself. But most importantly, I always tell everyone is that, listen, if you've been doing something for more than 2-3 months and you're not seeing success from it, it's time to change and do something else. All right, good. Now, this is what we're going to cover. Okay, we're going to cover how to find stocks to trade. Okay, we're also going to cover how to follow up and follow what's called the smart money, how to follow the big orders. We're going to also talk about how we could be consistent, have a consistent trading plan. A lot of people don't understand that, when you get into a position, how you get in, how you get out. How do you know where these things go up and down the way they do? Should I sell? Should I hold on? We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about something that Cybertrain University is very well known for, is how to use tape reading, something that's called level 2, level 3, level 4. I know a lot of you here probably have level 2. Listen, you're going to find out you're wasting your time with it, and I'll tell you why. And most importantly, how to turn trading into a serious business. I know a lot of you here are maybe a little bit older, maybe you want to start trading your own money, you're sick and tired about maybe giving it to somebody to do for you. You want to make a little supplemental income. Well, listen, like anything else, you got to treat it like a business. And by the way, for some of you don't know this, I got this wrong when I took business class in college. The definition of business is making money. That's it. Don't take it personal. All right. So how did I get here? A lot of people always ask me, Fausto, why you teach? Why did you get here? Well, the real thing is basically when I got into trading, I basically went out there and learned from some of the best traders on Wall Street. I live here in New York. I'm the financial capital of the world. And the thing is, to become very successful, as I was a loser in the beginning because I tried doing it on my own, I realized I gotta maybe I should surround myself with good traders, right? Wouldn't that make sense to like maybe watch other people what they're doing right instead of going out there and trying to do it on your own? Well, with today's technology, believe me, it's a lot easier, and that's why more and more people are getting into it. But you have to learn not to get fooled by other people out there, but make sure you surround yourself with people that do it and successfully. Now, listen, you might move forward Cybertrain University, you might not, but hopefully today will kind of explain it. But I want to warn everyone, be very careful about these fast talking people on YouTube and Twitter and so on, because I know a lot of people always think and say, you know what, how do I really know, you're a very good trader? Well, we're going to talk about that more towards the end. But how did I get here? Okay, I think everybody wants to know that. First of all, I'm a first generation Italian. That's my father and my mother. That's when they came back from Italy. They both passed away, but my dad always taught me to have good values. You got to have a good nucleus in a family. And I guess, and also he came here to give us a better life, from coming from another country, especially you all know what happened after World War II. So, but he said something that was very important to me. He says, listen, go out there and make sure you do a job that's going to give you the freedom to spend more time with your family, because that is what is going to keep your nucleus, and and do something that you can make a lot of money doing it. So living in New York, I was learning from people and saying, wow, you know what, maybe I should learn how to trade the market. I'm seeing younger kids driving cars, these expensive cars, and like, how do they do it? Well, it's all about trading in today's markets. Now, if you've probably done your homework, you'll see I've been a regular speaker at Nasdaq talking about level 3 and level 4. That's my wonderful family. That's my son, Alex, Max, and Lucas, my lovely wife, Debbie. Been married for 23 years, which, by the way, I don't make girls. I think they said the male makes the sex. But it was a great experience. I love what I do. I have a passion to do it. But I really have two families. And the two families I have is my traders and the people I spend that night with, which is my kids and my wife. Now, just quick facts about Cybertrain University. We started back in 1995. We were one of the first schools in today's industry. I have over 25 experience. I opened the original trading room, which, by the way, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come and see what it's like to be in an original trading room that we started. I know there's a lot of them popping around now, but I'm going to invite every one of you there. And by the way, this is going to be the trading room. Now, the big thing about me inviting you in the room is this. Listen, I don't have an ego, okay? I don't brag and show off my fancy cars, my fancy boats and everything else, like some other people. Listen, you're going to get in this room and you're going to see how other people are making money, because I think that's what you need to understand. You want to see if other people make doing it. But before I invite you in that room, I want you to understand our style and how we do things at Cybertrain University. Now, before I do that, just one more question. So I get to know a little about everyone. I'll do a quick poll. You're probably seeing it popping up on your right. Can you guys just tell me what kind of trader you are? Are you a stock trader, options trader, futures, Forex, investor? I don't know. Okay, great. We got a lot of stock traders, options traders. All right, so just to let you know, I'm a stock trader. Not that I'm, prejudiced or racist or anti-options or futures. I basically like to trade stocks is what we do here in New York. But I just find that when you turn on the TV, what do they talk about every day? They talk about the stock market. So actually now you hear them talking more about crypto with stocks. But my thing is this. If you're doing any one of these markets, you probably have two issues. You probably haven't found the right person that taught you how to do it, or maybe it's just not for you. Listen, if you're not making money after 2-3 months doing what you're doing, you might want to consider changing a mentor or finding a mentor or just quitting and try something else. So let me teach you the art of stock trading. And let me tell you, remember what I told you in the beginning, trading is a business. Do you really care, that you trade options because of the leverage, you know what I mean? Like, or futures because of the tax purposes, or Forex because of the timing? Listen, whatever makes you money, it's not a full-time job. You just got to get the right time, surround you with somebody that's going to take the time and teach you the right way, and that's how you're going to do it, which a lot of you are going to learn a little bit about Cybertrain University. And if you haven't experienced yet, I think that's one of the biggest people love about Cybertrain University, that you actually talk to somebody, and someone that's here at our office, not someplace, that is off-site. People like Cybertrain University because, we're knowledgeable, we care, and the last thing I want to see anybody do is lose money here. I'd rather put the fear in God in you than you go out there and go and doing it on your own. So let me tell you the art of trading and why we do what we do and how to do it properly. First thing you have to understand is day trading. I like to day trade because I don't hold any overnight positions. Here you imagine, listen, we had a stock today. I mean, forget about this one, but there was a stock today. Let me bring one up here and show you what I'm talking about. Where are we at? Let me bring up this stock. Here's one stock right here. HGN. You wake up in the morning, something happened, you have FDA approval, then you get emergency approval, and the stock goes from $15, and then you wake up the next morning and it's at 5. Okay. Here's another stock. I mean, 21 down to 9. You've seen it. You've been there. You've done it. I even got a better one than that. How about this one? This is the best. This one's the best right here. EDU. Stock was $170. You wake up the next morning, stock opens up at 17, which, by the way, this is not a reverse stock split. Okay. And then you see the stock dropped all the way down to almost about 75 cents. So, listen, I don't know if you guys have been there and done that. Day trading is just a little bit more, is a lot more conservative. But when you swing trade, you do make more money, but where there's more money, there's more risk. So, just out of curiosity, could you tell me, what is your experience of trading? Have you been doing this for a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Just want to know the experience in the trading room. 20 years, Mike, and you're still learning. That's awesome. I like that. JP says 5 years, 5 years. Okay, 10 plus, about a year. And you know what? Listen, there's almost 200 people in here, and something. Listen, nobody can read anyone's chat. Just be honest with me. Are you making money? You breaking even? How you doing? How are you doing? You flat, losing money, losing, Richard, making money and then waiting to make more, breaking even. Wow, a little ahead. Bleeding, Manuel is saying. Okay, not for 10 years, want to do the right, do right with CTU, Nancy. Okay. All right. So let's get started then. Question. And this is going to answer, this is going to basically answer, let me see if I have it here. Okay. Just want to look at some of the poll questions the guys are writing in here. Jose says, got good at swing trading, but growing slowly and starting to trade. 3 trades opportunity. Okay. Just before COVID, making money. Oh, obviously did. Everyone did great with COVID. There was some great stocks that made some rallies. But okay, but the thing is this, question for everyone, and this is where we're going to lead to. Can everybody here tell me, how do stocks go up and down? How do they go up and down? If you can't answer this question, I'm going to be honest with you. And please, I'm a little brash, okay? I might get in your hair and shake your hair a little bit. Might not like me, but I care. You can't answer this question. I'm doing you a favor. You should quit trading right now. You should log out of this room and just quit. Okay. It looks like every single person other than Mike has the wrong answer, okay? It's all about supply and demand. Now, let me just go back to this chart I was showing you earlier. Remember this stock we were looking at? the GEVO, the one that got destroyed? 150,000 share buyer. Oh, 313,000 share buyer. I mean, you have the seller, and now you got a big buyer that just showed up at 770. Let me ask everyone another question. How many of you here are in a stock right now where you could see the 320,000 share seller and the 157,000? I mean, the 320,000 share buyer and the 150,000 share seller. How many of you here see that in a position you're in right now? No, James. Mike, no, never. Not me. Good. Think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions would you be able to make if you were able to see those people? Because remember, what are we trading? A couple hundred shares, maybe 1,000. These guys are trading 300,000 or 150,000. How much better and smarter trading decisions would you have made if you just kept things simple? How much better and smarter trading decisions if you're not so focused on the past, for crying out loud, and be able to see the future, which I just showed you. That is what's going to make that's going to change your life right now. Because remember, everything I tell you right now, I'm going to show you live, because I'm going to invite every one of you to join me for 1 full week in my trading room so I can show this and prove it to you. Because everybody can show you nice PowerPoints, right? You see everyone have these great YouTube channels, these great animations, good looking people, fancy cars and stuff. Listen, we practice what we preach here. So like Nero, stock goes from, let me get my pointer here so you can follow along. Sorry about that. Here you got Nero, stock goes from, 1350 all the way up to about 1750. Look, 9:30 in the morning, stock goes from 540 up to 760. Buy 1,000 shares of that stock. You make $2,000. Do that every day. There's your $500,000 salary. Who doesn't want that job? And you know what? You don't even need to make $2. If you made 50 lousy stinking cents on that trade, you would have made yourself a $100,000 salary. Do that every day. Here's another one. Big stock we traded recently. If you've been following us on Twitter or on a YouTube channel, we've been doing great on this stock. Stock goes from $8 to $11. Hell, if you just bought at 9 and sold at 9.50, you did pretty damn well. All right. So how are these charts very similar? All right. And how are they different? They're not. They're not. They're all the same. They all trade, in the first hour of the open and the last hour of the close, which, by the way, if you have ever seen it before, I've invented a clock that tells you, a mouse pad that tells you the best time to trade and the worst time to trade. How do I know this? Because I was a market maker. That's what I did. Okay. I worked for these people. Trades come in early. People got to close their positions at the end of the day. Nothing goes on in the morning. By the way, just going to go back to that level 4. Do you notice what happened right here? That buyer for 300,000 shares just got executed. How do I know that? Because I can see the order right here. Look at the time in sales. All right. Look what just happened. Could you imagine being in a position right now and all of a sudden be able to see a 300,000 share buyer get executed? What do you think is going to happen if somebody sells to a 300,000 share buyer? Can anyone answer that question? By the way, don't mind me bouncing around, but it's just a pretty cool thing to see right now. What do you think is going to happen? Bullish. Okay. Price is going to go down. It's going to go up, Alan. Okay. Well, you know what? We're going to see. And I'll tell you, look, when we get to the end. All right. All right. So trading, just to point out, is not a busy time to trade. There's only certain times. first out, like here at Cybertrain University, we do a lot of pre-market trading. We trade, we log in early. We trade around 8 o'clock in the morning. We do a live audio broadcast around 9 o'clock. We're live on YouTube, which by the way, it doesn't matter because you guys are going to come join my trading room. We're going to be there all day. Kind of trade with them in the first hour, kind of take it easy in the middle of the day. We do our afternoon meeting. Maybe you're from a different part of the world. You're not an early bird. It's too early for you. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you're in Singapore or Australia or, Hawaii, California. Maybe you want to trade the afternoon. Yeah, we trade the afternoon and we just trade at those times. So how do we know when and where to buy? Well, listen, you don't trade on news. We trade on following the big money. There's only really 4 things that we need: a scanner, a chart, total view, which is level 3, and time and sales. That's all we need. So we're going to talk about those things. So here we have a stock. News comes out, stock goes down. Well, what does that mean? Is that good? Is it bad? I mean, it sounds like it's bad. Well, how bad is it? How good is it? Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to do a poll question here because I'm going to teach you now the big secret. Does anyone here have level 3 quotes? Kevin, we're going to talk a little bit dark pools, okay? I've been trading dark pools forever. I know there are a lot of people teach dark pools. And by the way, anyone out there that talks about it, where do you think they learn? Some of them actually were my instructors. So you're hearing from the horse's mouth, Kevin. But before we do that, that is really the least of your problems right now. Let's talk about something called high frequency trades, algorithms, all these things you hear on TV. Like, where's all these big orders come? Institutions. Let's talk about that. So fill this out really quick. How many of you here have level 3 quotes? Come on, listen, a little bit more than half of you answer this question. If that is really, if you can't answer this question, just tell me you're not sure. I just want to be able to let everybody know why trading is an 80%, 90% failure rate, okay? Well, there is for options too, which we didn't talk about, okay? All right, let me end the poll because I can't sit there and wait for everyone. All right, so you could see that only a little bit less than 10%. I would even say it's half because a little bit less than half of you didn't answer, okay? So I would say about 5% because maybe you're embarrassed to even say it, which is okay. I'm not going to pick on you. All right, so let's talk about Nasdaq total view. Now, when you guys sign up and come join my trading room after this event, I just want to let you guys know, we're going to play a video, which is going to show me on Nasdaq, on the floor of the Nasdaq market, talking exclusively about Nasdaq total view. And believe me, Nasdaq doesn't need Fausto Pugliese, okay? They're Nasdaq, for crying out loud. Nasdaq wanted me there because they know that people like you need to understand how to trade properly by using their platform. And by the way, this is New York Stock Exchange, all of them. So let me tell you how it is. Now listen to me carefully, okay? Then you have to follow me along. These are your buyers. These are your sellers. You see it says buy orders and sell orders? Okay. You got 3 columns, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, this probably looks very confusing to you, but let me just hear it out. And believe me, it's not as complicated as people think. Bid are the buyers. The ask is the sellers. What you have over here is whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy the stock for less money, who wants to sell their shares for the least amount of money, is on the top of the ask. Now, it's basically a big chat room. They're just negotiating. What you're seeing right here, fellow traders, is all the orders on the Nasdaq market of people who want to trade CLNE. Now, there are buyers at every single price level at every penny, okay? Now, what we're going to be looking at is something like this: the 110,000 share sellers, and I don't know, I really don't see that many a buyer and not really that many sellers out here. We're looking for something called iceberg orders, which is a word I came up with 20 years ago after watching the movie Titanic. And we all know what happened to the Titanic. They didn't see the iceberg. So we're looking for what's called these big block orders, these big iceberg orders. So what you're seeing right here is every order around the world of every buyer and every seller. That's basically what you're seeing. Now think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions would it help you to see these buyers and sellers? Think about that. Well, now you can, and you always could. Okay, this has been around for over 20 years. And actually, just to kind of, let you know, I was actually one of the developers who helped build what they call ECNs. Why me out of all people? Because the exchanges came to us called SOS bandits. If you read any of the old books, the original day traders. I was one of the original SOS bandits back in the early 90s. So I might look young, which actually I'm gonna be 50 years old in September 18th. Thank you very much. But I've been around that long. And let me tell you, every day I come to work, I get more passionate and more loving of doing it. So the thing is, these are the buyers, these are the sellers. And I don't want to teach you the history why we built this, other than brokerage firms are not honoring their quotes, but I know the system up and down. This is how the exchanges trade, and you need to follow the market, okay? Now, let me erase this, and let's use this, how this all works. So, we're looking at a chart, okay? Now, I assume everybody knows how to read a chart, but I would say 80% of you reading them backwards, and you'll see why. But you see right here, we're looking at a stock right here, TME. It doesn't matter the name of the symbol or what they do or what's going on, but let's just look at this. This stock goes from $10.30. It goes within an hour, okay? It goes all the way down to a price of $9.60. It stopped over here, had a little hiccup around 10, broke $9.90, it stopped specifically at $9.60. Why $9.60? Why not $9.50? Why $9? Why $9.60? Well, the only reason why it would go up, there somehow must have been a big buyer there. And when you look at Nasdaq Book Viewer, you'll notice that there is a 237,000 share buyer for 30, and there are 34 orders out there, meaning there are 34 people around the world, okay, because they're not all in cahoots with each other, but there are 34 people around the world that make up 237,000 shares at $9.60. Now think about this for a second. How do stocks go up and go down? Well, you all said it. Buyers and sellers. There's a big buyer out there. Coincidental. Big buyer, stock goes from $9.60, shoots up all the way to 10. Okay? So you have to look at it, and again, look, it came back down. Came close to $9.65, and now it's going back up again. So why, some of you might say, oh, that was support levels. No. It wasn't a support level. First of all, let me explain something to you. There is no such thing of support level. We do not teach support levels. People are like, whoa. What the hell is this guy talking about? Isn't everything about support and resistance? No. I'll tell you why. You cannot have a support level unless you have buyers. Support levels get broken all the time. So, you ever sit there and think for a second, like, how did that stock, make a support level? Because of the buyers. How many of you here are seeing the 237,000 share buyers out there? Which we all know, not too many. Let's move on. Nikola, okay? Stock goes from $13.80 all the way up in a matter of about 30 minutes, has a beautiful run at $14.50, okay? And then all of a sudden, it comes back down, all the way down to $13.80. Why did it stop at $14.50? Why didn't it go back to 15? Why did it stop at 14? Why $14.50? Well, if you look over here, remember, as a trader, the way we teach our traders which a lot of people don't do, is they don't have a game plan. They keep focusing on the past. Stop focusing on some dumb Bollinger Band, MACD, Fibonacci, stop focusing on something that a mathematician designed. You want to be a good trader, you learn from traders, okay, not mathematicians. And traders follow the money. And the money is this. You look at the shares and I say, okay, stock's going up. My game plan is I want to make money. I need to get out of it. I want to make a profit, okay? And I know we want to make as much as possible, but where is everyone else selling? And when you look over here, you could see clear as day on the sell side, you got 4,000 shares, 6,000 shares, 1,000, 300, 200. I mean, you really gonna take someone serious at 200, even though if you're trading 200, but you got an 85,000 share seller at 1450. You're gonna question that guy at 1450? Seriously? Seriously, guys trading over $1 million worth of stock out there. You're gonna think you know more than him. Yeah, you tell me that. Whatever you do, I'm doing the opposite. That's what. And listen, the way I'm talking to you is how my mentors taught me. Guys like Jane Polizzi and Frank Ferrara and Lou Farley, all my friends that taught me how to trade. This is what they taught me. He says, hey, Fausto, you think you're smarter than him? Okay, you let me know how that works out for you. Think about this for a second. How much smarter and better trading decisions would you make if you were able to just follow the big orders? This is so helpful, Jose is saying. Jose, how about this? I didn't even get started. This, I hate to say it, is kindergarten stuff, okay? Wait till you see when you start trading with people and we work together like a team. Wait till you see when I show you that there's just not one book. There are 5 other books, Archipelago, EDGX. What else is there? Not just Nasdaq, there is MERX. There's a few of them. When you aggregate all these orders together, it makes even that much more obvious. Okay, let's have a little fun. Could everyone tell me, from what you're looking at right here, is this stock going up or down? What do you think? Up or down? Use the poll. I got the poll up there. See you guys answering this. Rich, use the poll. I have the poll up there. Use the poll. And I'm going to share it. Listen, if you can't answer this question, you better quit trading. I mean, and it looks like so far, somebody's going to have to quit trading. Okay. Manuel says it's not enough info. What are you talking about? I'm asking you a simple question. Is this stock going up or down? Looking at the trend of the stock. It's a very simple question. It's not. Don't overthink it, which a lot of you, some of you here that are wrong are overthinking it. Okay, so I'm going to stop it in this poll, and I'm going to share it with you. How do we have 12% of you think it's going up? I can't figure this out. How is that going? The trend is going down. Oh, I know it. It's a trick question. It's a trick. Listen, there's no trick question. I ask you a simple question, okay? Is the light green or is the light red? I don't know. You colorblind? Listen, it's a very simple answer. The stock is going down. So if you really thought it was going up, you should probably quit trading now. Because there's 2 things you're doing. You're overthinking it, and you feel like you're smarter than somebody else. And I'm sorry if I'm being rude or whatever. I'm there to protect you. Okay. I've done training in front of millions and millions of people. Okay. And I see these people's faces, and they're thinking like this guy's telling them the secret sauce, whatever it is. Listen, it's a very simple question. Now, the next question is this. Let me stop sharing. For the ones that said it was going down, and you know what? I'll let you guys just say go up. We'll continue. Don't worry about it. What do we need the stock to do to go back up? What do we need? Just give me in the chat. Tell me what we need. What do we need for the stock to go up? Buyers. Congratulations. Perfect. Okay. Do you see buyers on a chart? Do you guys see buyers on a chart? No, I don't see anything on it. I don't see no buyers. You know what we need? We need to see the data. We need to see what's on the book, what Nasdaq is showing, what the New York Stock Exchange is showing. We need to see what they have on the floor, okay? And on the floor is the book. So we look on the buy side, okay? And we're looking at TGR, and we see that there's 1,300 shares at 1402, 200 shares, 200. Oh, wow. 213,000 share buy, 45 orders out there at 1380. What do you think is going to happen when it gets close to 1380? Do we have to overthink that? Do we think that's a fake order? You think that's a fake order? Yeah. You know what? When you come in my trading room, I'll find a nice 213,000 share order, and we'll use your money, and you tell me how fake that is. Okay, that's a real order. You can't put fake orders on the market. Maybe on your demo account, but it's not going to show up here. Exactly, Kelly. It'll probably stop crashing, but the game plan is this. When a stock goes up and goes down, you want to know where the buyers and sellers are, right? You got to know where the buyer is, you know what the seller is. That's where the buyers are. So guess what happened? Hit that buyer. We're looking at a 1-minute chart, and you got 1, 2. You had literally almost 4 minutes to figure this out, that it was not going to break where that big buyer is. And if you bought it right there where the buyers were, stock goes from 1380 all the way up to about $15. You do the math. In about, what, an hour and a half, you made about, let's just use a rough number. I don't want to confuse anyone. Let's say you bought it at 14 and you sold it at 15. You made $1 on 1,000 shares, $1,000, $250,000. RH says, wow. Listen, don't thank me, okay? I'm just a messenger. All I'm looking for is people can help me find these iceberg orders, which I didn't get to yet, okay? There's no software out there that's going to help you spot iceberg orders. But it's all about working together, trading together, and just following the money. This is why I love teaching, because everybody keeps talking about the same crap. Why my indicator is better than his, why, you know, oh, this is my strategy. This is, oh, I'm going to tell you the watch list and the picks and this and that, and why I'm the best and the best. Listen, I'm 50 years old. I've been doing this for 25 years. My ego left when I was 24. Okay. A lot of us are older. You know, Social Security is not paying enough. We've tried so many programs. It's time to kind of see and say, wow, this just makes a little bit more sense. Why do we have to think we're smarter than them? Stop trying to be smarter than them. You're not going to beat them, fellow traders. There's only one way to do this. You got to join them. Why do you think, you know, you hear everyone bashing Wall Street? Oh, we got to tax those people. They make too much money. Listen, I get it. I live here. I see them all the time. Some of the biggest traders live across the street from me. Okay. You imagine how much money they have. Listen, you ever heard of the Hamptons? Okay. These people have $100 million homes. They're like, and what all they're doing is they're pushing buttons. Listen, we don't need to make 100 million. Some of us like wish we could make only 100,000. You know, we don't need that. All right. Wow, time flies. We got about 15 minutes for you guys to register. We're almost there yet. Let's do the opposite. Let me teach you how to have a game plan. Where do you think resistance level and NCTY is? Let's see if you guys can answer this question. Where do you think resistance level is NCTY? Just put it in the chat. Wow, look at that. Let me help for some of you that don't know where resistance level is, okay? Resistance will be sellers, which would be right here. All right. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for a big seller, a place there's a lot of them. So you're working your way down. The person wants to sell for the least amount of money, 550 shares, 3 people. But as you work your way down, if you said 1388, wow, congratulations, you're right. Without using some indicator, without using some special software, without listening to some stupid news, or, I mean, you just right away, without even thinking twice. Now think about this for a second. When you looked at this before we started, you're like, oh, there's so many numbers. Look at all those numbers. So many. There's only one number. That's it. It was this one. This is all crap. This is all window dressing. All this is garbage. It's this that you're looking at. That's the guy you're focusing on. Kevin, we didn't get to that yet. We're going to talk about that next. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. So, and by the way, let me just point this out. All right. Let me just point this out. If you feel that you're dealing with a bunch of liars and thieves and hedge funds doing fake out trades, what are you doing in this business? You understand? Like go back to your day job that you did in the past. You know, I tell everyone all the time, like, you hear what I said before, you can't beat them. You just got to join them. You got to play the game. I'm probably one of the very few people you ever been in a webinar that's been endorsed by almost every brokerage firm in the industry. And I assume a lot of you did your homework. Okay. Who is in business for 25 years and has a 5-star rating on Google? It's unheard of. How about this? Even better. Because some of you probably say, oh, those are fake, could be fake. Go to the Better Business Bureau. Go to the Better Business Bureau. 0 complaints. Okay? Go look at everyone else. You'll at least find several. Why? Because I'll be honest with you, we don't teach everybody. It's not for everybody. And not only that, but I was a market maker. That's what I used to do. All right? And, you know, I was such a good trader when I started, and it took me a little bit longer to learn because it was a lot harder back then to do it with technology, but I became so good at it that I was an entrepreneur. I'm like, the reason why I started school is because I didn't want to open up a brokerage firm, and I was sick and tired of splitting the profits with the brokerage firm. I wanted to keep all for myself. Eventually, I don't need them anymore, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to do what I've done 25 years ago. I'm looking to train people like you, and eventually you'll outgrow CTU. And then hopefully you could teach other people. Listen, there's a lot of schools out there, believe it or not, that are students of Cybertrain University and are graduates, not only graduates, but are instructors. I'm very proud to say that. And hopefully one day you could be the same. Now, let's get back to that one stock we talked about. You're looking at the chart. What do you think more people are going to think about this chart? Is the stock going up or going down? Well, from the trend of it's going down. But when we looked at over here, we know we're going to be testing a big iceberg order. Well, guess what? That iceberg order that we saw that's there, that most indicators and most people would think it's going up, it went down. It went down. And not only did it go down, it came crashing down from 1380 all the way down to 1770 because of that big seller out there. And if you're not prepared and don't have a game plan and don't see what's going on, this is how you're going to blow up your account. So it's time to stop pretending to be an analyst, and it's time to think as a trader and following the big boys. It's as simple as that. And that's why we call them iceberg orders. You can't have an iceberg order. You can't have a support and resistance if those orders are not out there to confirm those support and resistance levels. Now, to get back to a bunch of you like Kevin and Mike and Bill, like, sorry, I keep blowing it off. I heard about these fake orders. First of all, there's no such thing of fake orders. Okay. Anybody that tells you there's a fake order, do yourself a favor. You better run. Brokerage firms, you do me a favor. Call up Charles Schwab right now. Say, hey, I want to put a fake order out there. Could you do that? Could you do that? Could you do that? We take a broker. You can't put. There's no such thing. The only thing that's fake is demo. Okay. Those orders are real. Now, can somebody cancel an order? That's not a fake order. Okay. Anyone could cancel an order and could change their mind, right? But how do we know if they're canceled or executed? It's something called time and sales. Did you ever read any of the old books called tape readers? Okay, I was a tape reader. That's what I was. And a tape reader, basically, these are the confirmations of transactions that take place. Okay, like I just showed you on that stock GEOV. How do we know these buyers are getting done or executed? It's through the time and sales. That's how things work. You have to follow the money. Now, let me just teach you how this works. Looking at SKLZ, okay, breaks over 1450. Now, if you notice right here, there was on the sell side, there was a 121,000 share seller at 1450. When you look at the chart, it went past 1450, went all the way up to 16. Now, how is that possible? It almost contradicts what I'm telling you. No, it doesn't. Look at the time in sales. Green, 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 2,000, 1,000, 5,000, 2,000. The guy that was selling the 120,000 share seller was getting executed. People are buying it. That means that there was a demand. So you had a big seller, and you could see he was out there for almost an hour, which, by the way, is something called a Fausto flag. We'll teach you a little bit about that when you come into our trading room. Stock breaks out, and listen, eventually the guy sold all his shares, and boom, thing went up. So when you're wondering, when you see these big resistance levels, and then you always wonder, how did that stock break a resistance level? Well, maybe somebody bought it from him. And that could happen. That's trading. The blacks are trades in between the bid and ask. That's what that means, Earl. Okay. So look at SRNE. You would assume there's a big support level by looking at level 3 that on Nasdaq Book Viewer at 17, right? So that technically would be your game plan. Says, you know what? Big support levels at 17. That's where I want to buy it. Or if you were losing money, you obviously don't want to sell a stock with a big buyer out there, right? But when you get 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, and this guy gets executed, it went all the way down to 11. That's a pretty big. That's a pretty big loss. And it really came crashing down. I mean, look at this thing. Not even in seconds, in tenths of a second. Look at that. This is a consistent of minutes and seconds. And someone just nailed it and hit the bid hard. And when you only have 100 share buyers, 400 shares, 300, and you're coming to that big of a buyer and he gets executed, no wonder the stock goes from 17 down to 13 in a matter of an hour. And if you're not prepared, guess what? That could be you if it hasn't been already. How many times that happened to you, everyone? You don't have to tell me, but you know you're out there. You've been there. You've done that. You're like, oh, I don't understand. I thought I should have sold it. I didn't want to lose that much money. And all of a sudden now I'm in a big hole. Yeah, it was like you. I know it's some of you. Yeah, listen, some of you are not embarrassed to admit it. That's okay. The only way you're going to admit that, the only way you're going to admit to stop losing is you have to accept losses. You have to admit when you're wrong. And it's okay, because at Cybertrain University, we don't teach you how to make money like other people do. We teach you how to stop losing it, because the winners take care of themselves. It's the losers that no one knows how to control, and nobody wants to talk about the losers. No one else out there that teach you how to trade don't want to tell you about their losers and why they lost. Losing is a good thing, because if you know why you lost, you're not going to do it again. And that's what's so important. So that's what people have to look at when it comes to trading. You can't be greedy. You just got to hit base hits. And that's why when we teach people how to trade, it's more the KISS method. Keep it super simple. It's amazing how complicated people make trading what it is. I mean, sometimes I look at some people's screens, it's like they're landing the space shuttle, crying out loud. They have like 6 monitors. I have a Thinkorswim account, a Schwab account, a Tasty Trade account, or whatever, Fidelity. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? Why are you driving yourself mad? I mean, I know you love doing it, but shouldn't you have someone teach you how to drive first before you go out there and open up all these accounts and think you got to sign up to the next greatest software? There's a lot of stuff is just window dressing. That's all it is. And you know what's crazy about it? Think about this a second. You don't even need a lot of money to do this. Some of the stocks we trade are under like $30. Some of them are below $5. Because I think that's people and other people have this misconception. They think you need a lot of money to do this. 50 cents? Are you serious? 50 lousy stinking cents? 20 trades a day? There's a $100,000 salary? You think it's hard to pull fit? We see stocks move $2, $5, 50 cents. That's it. 2 trades at 25 cents. How many here want to would like to do that? And I'm going to show you when you come into the trading room. So you can't be self-taught when you're at risk, you know, when you hard-earned money there. There's actually a picture of me. Even Charles Schwab had me do presentations for them. Okay? How many people you know have done presentations for Charles Schwab? They don't need Fausto Pugliese or Cybertrain University, but they do because if you're successful, if you're a good trader, you'll be a client theirs forever. You think they want to lose you? Besides, there's some things they can't tell you for compliance purposes. This is why Cybertrain University has been endorsed by more brokerage firms than anyone in the school, which, by the way, let me just point this out to you. I know some of you are not going to move forward with Cybertrain University, and believe me, I don't get insulted on that, okay? But can I just give you some advice before you do that? Make sure whoever trains you that they are being endorsed by brokerage firms, because they have a lot more to lose than you. Brokerage firms would not endorse somebody if they thought they were teaching people how to lose money. If they're so good, why are Tastyworks, MetaStock, Ninja Trader, Thinkorswim, you know, Charles Schwab, eSignal, TradeStation are not endorsing them? Believe me, they do their homework. Don't worry, you don't have to do your homework. Believe me, they've done their homework. Okay, they got a compliance department, spend millions and millions of dollars, you know, on making sure they do background checks on us, on my staff, everything. If it's good for them, it's good for you. So this is what I'm looking to do. I want to invite every single one of you to come in my trading room. Now, I know this looked pretty common sense, right? Almost. Well, can I just at least show it to you live in the market? And not only that, but it's not the Fausto show. You know, it's not the Josh show, the Rich show. I want you to see the other traders in the room and see if they're making money doing it. That's how you know that you found the right person. Okay, is seeing not just, oh, well, he's such a good trader. Listen, you're not going to see 2,000 to 3,000 people in this room. A lot of people don't qualify. Okay, and you know what? You'll know right away if you qualify or not. You might think it's too fast, which is probably not, but it might. But what do you have to lose? You have everything to gain. And that's what trading is. So I want to invite you all to come into the original trading room that I started 25 years ago. And this is what you're going to get, because we're almost done now. Okay, everybody ready to sign up? This is what you're going to get. We open up the room at 7:30 in the morning. We do a live audio broadcast at 9 a.m. We scan for the market. And by the way, we do a lot of pre-market trading. I know a lot of you, some of you are like, oh, I can't do it, or how do you guys get in these positions? We're going to cover that. We're also going to do a live auto commentary from 9:30 to 10:30. Why we stop at 10:30? Because after that, things die. Once again, follow the mouse pad. Also, who wants to be here all day? That's ridiculous. You don't have to. You still can make money in the middle of the day, but you don't have to. We'll come back and if you maybe you're from a different part of the country or the world, whatever it is, or maybe you missed the morning, you want to trade the afternoon, you'll get another push in the close. We'll do an afternoon meeting at 2:30 live, and then we'll do auto commentary from 3 to 4, the last hour of the close. That's it, and we're done. And what's nice about it, you don't got to be here all day, and you don't have to be here every single day. Let's just say I only can work on Thursdays. That's great. When you have a good shift and good traders in the room, you could just jump in and say, "Hey, Mike, what's going on? Oh, we're trading, you know, the EVBN. Ooh, nice push in that. Who's in it? You know, but hey, you know, Marty, yeah, I'm done, but the stock looks strong. I'm gonna go take my wife out to lunch. Enjoy." That's the kind of relationship you're gonna have at Cybertrain University. Now, this is all I'm asking for. $9. That's it. $9. Oh my God, that's all. Yes. You know why? People like, that sounds too cheap. What's the catch? There's no catch. The $9 is just to let me know that you're a real person. That's it. And you know what? After a week, you want your $9 back, you could have it. This is an application fee to let us know who you are, where you came from, your experience, and making sure that you say who you say you are. Okay, which I don't think is a really bad problem, is it? Do you know how many people refuse to pay $9? I would rather pay $9 than go into a free room because it's chaos. And you know what? If you like what you heard and you want to see it for one full week, here's your opportunity. And another thing, I want to make a point. People always ask me, okay, what happens after a week? I don't know. You tell me. Wait, there's no subscription? No. No subscription, no nothing. You don't want to move forward with us? That's okay. Fine. Don't worry about it. And if you want your $9 back, you can have it back. If you feel we wasted your time, no problem. But I know I'm not going to waste your time, because when you see what's going to go on, you're going to be like, holy crap, I want to sign up. Actually, how do I learn more? How do I get the coaching, Fausto? How do I get you guys to review my journals? How do I get that one-on-one coaching that you guys are teaching? How did he make? That will come later. But it all starts here with $9. Yeah, listen, Bill, if you want to continue, then it's $149 a month, but we're not going to force you into it. You tell us. That's the way we do it. I'm going to throw a bonus in there. How about this? First 20 people right now register. I will actually give you a personal coaching class. Fair enough? Now, why? Think about this a second. How many of you have taken a class with somebody and spoke to the owner? Probably zero. I'm here to answer your questions. Let me tell you why. What is my invested interest in you? Okay, let me tell you what I'm looking for. This is an interview. All right, I need to know that you're really that qualified and this is something you want to do. And I would be very straightforward with you. I'll let you know if it's for you or not. And it might not be. And you know what? That's okay. That's fine. A lot of you don't have to move forward with this. And would you rather me tell you than you go out there and like, yeah, you know what? Give me $1,000 for the training. And here's 800 hours of videos. And if you don't figure out, that's your problem. How many of you are sick and tired of dealing with that person? Okay. Think about the relationship you want. Don't you want someone that's going to take you seriously? Let me tell you, I'm going to give you a good little metaphor. And I know this all could probably sink into everyone. Anyone out there try to lose weight? All right. Ever go out there and try to or diet, whatever it is. We all could probably lose a couple of pounds or get healthy, right? And sometimes it never works. I'll tell you how it works and how it really works. After you do your 17th diet, go hire a personal trainer and go pay for a nutritionist. Oh, but that costs money. Yeah. You care about your health? Or you being cheap? Stop being cheap. You want to do it right. You love the job. You like what's going on. Go out there and register and do the trial. The worst thing that could happen is that you learn something. The best thing to happen, that you finally found someone that knows how to make money and is going to teach you how to play the game. Now, Tara, you're in. No problem. We'll look forward to it. I'm going to make a couple of call outs because I see a lot of you registering right now. Okay. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the live trading room, 3 daily market meetings, a morning and afternoon watch list, your own personal education advisor, a weekly Q&A session. You're also going to get 100 hours of recordings and premium workshop. All that for a lousy, stinking $9. Okay. And let's go from there. So why am I doing it? I'm looking to interview traders that I could train, I can make money with. Now, a couple of shout outs really quick right here. You got Mike from Los Angeles, got your registration. Bill got your registration from Chicago. Toomer just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Who's this? Amendola got your registration. Thank you. Ooh, here we go. Just want to show you that. Okay, now I got about a couple of minutes to answer some questions. So let me kind of bang them out. How to register, just click on that link, Brian, that's posted right there, and we'll get you registered, okay? Now, this is very important. Listen, when you fill out that registration, there's an actual page that's going to ask, there's going to be a questionnaire. Please tell us a little about you. Are you, tell us who your broker is. Tell us a little about yourself. Have you ever been taking training? Do you even know what level 3 is? All right. So we actually go out there and, qualify people by looking at it. So, listen, we do something totally different. Think of this, somebody hiring you and you want to impress. So if you want to do it right, if you want to make sure this is something that we could, because listen, it's a lot of work to train somebody. And we enjoy doing it. We love changing people's lives. I can't tell you, people call me up and how touching it is that they said, Fausto, I lost my job and I'm a very smart guy. They sold my job just because of COVID, and they hired somebody younger and cheaper, and I'm now all of a sudden going to retire, and I was depending on that. They screwed me. You're going to meet people like that. You're going to meet people that was sick and ill. I can't tell you how many people I've trained that couldn't walk, or start their own business, and it's like, listen, but I love trading. I can figure it out. I change people like that. You're going to meet these people. And I love hearing those stories. People that have taken training and spent thousands and tens of thousands says, you know what? I finally found somebody that did it. You're going to hear these stories. You could be that story too. And I love to hear that. I love changing people's lives for the better. But I'm also happy to tell people, say, listen, it's not for you. You might want to go back to your day job, Right. And by the way, for some of you that are asking regarding about, when you could start, listen, I would start on Monday. Go watch the recordings, talk to education advisor, let them walk you through it. I think one of the staff is actually, the CTU staff is in there answering those questions for you. And if you can't make it next week, you can do it the following week. Just reserve it now. And when you talk to education advisor, you can't get in the room until you talk to them. Okay, because they're going to do a walkthrough with you. You'll go in the room and, you want to have the greatest experience and know what you're getting yourself involved in. So when you get in there, you need to talk to them and let them do what they do best, tell you a little bit about it. All right. So how you understand the lingo and all that good stuff. Now, guys, don't forget, don't go anywhere, because we're going to play a video of another example of us me on Nasdaq doing a presentation, and we're going to talk about something pretty cool. We're going to talk about the famous stock, the COVID pharmaceutical stock. Which one is it? Let me just see, which one was it? We're going to talk about, which is pretty cool, Moderna. We're going to talk about the Moderna stock. And you wonder how it got to 500. You're going to see us talking about when's at $25. All right. So anyway, guys, if you're not the first 20, that's okay. You're still going to talk to a instructor. Listen, I'm busy. There's only so many hours I could devote, to talk to anyone. But if you were logged in early, we'll get that done. And then in the meantime, I wish everyone a happy and healthy, new year. We're going in, we only got a couple of more months. Be safe with COVID, very important. But with catastrophe, there's opportunities, and you're probably seeing it. But just always remember, you got to learn before you can earn. And if you don't like the way I look, you don't like the way I sound, you don't like how I act, that's okay. I get it. I'm not going to take it personal. But you're going to have to learn from someone. If you think education's expensive, try ignorance. Let's stop losing and start doing this as a career, and don't throw away one of the greatest jobs in the world. There's nothing going to pay you the money like trading in today's markets, but to do it right, you got to surround yourself with not only a good mentor, but a good staff and a good team. And that's what Cybertrain University has been known for. So look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play that video next, and look forward to seeing you all in the trading room. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe.
Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese. He's the founder and president of Cybertrain University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, it could not be a better time to have you in with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what it is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again, and yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade and to a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, Fausto, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day, and honestly, this is how you really know when it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news, and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and then obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up with about almost like 900 points so far. So, and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally, you almost hit 30,000. You know, these are the opportunities. You know, honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, Nasdaq listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is mRNA? You know, I keep bringing up stocks, and people are like, what is this company? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here. And the first thing people notice is, like, the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at the stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And that, what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all could see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move along to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. The key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now, the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers. And you're looking for big orders. You got 51 different orders out there, right around 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, going higher, you're going to say, is the stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. It's coming up to this person right here. So 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this: is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000. You have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see if that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers. So you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those trades actions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it. We're already at 28.80.
Yep, and you can see you start to see these 35,000
which
orders.
Is exactly. Now, this is the next order. Now, the next question is: here's the next biggest resistance. There's a 33,000 shares for there's 100 different orders out there. Now, then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is you hit a resistance. Where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him, and we're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, it happens so fast.
Well, also, this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute, so it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29, the guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares, and that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right?
Of course.
So when you have profit taking going on, you could see profit taking going on. But the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people just, or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, and that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level, obviously, is going to be where we have to focus on where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, I think we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope, we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. So the next video we're going to show.
You can actually go to our slide here. So this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right. So we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. If you go watch that movie, very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg. And the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water, it's at the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big. So what happened, it crashed and it sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 28.90, and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stock's going higher. We need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, and which is on the next chart here. If we take a look, yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here is just a quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by.
So that's for anything that's like an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was younger. Listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out $21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. That's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. And so that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus on what happens to the 30. No, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what we have to focus on. For the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next slide. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so now we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62, 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place, but we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. So let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like they're fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there?
Yeah.
See that candle right there? It's hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
ETFs, futures, options, it works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of the stock that makes all those other things. Yes,
right.
ETFs and everything else. You could look up any ETF, and it'll come up on total view. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yep.
So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
And actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what you were talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. 27.30. You would have got crushed on that trade. Because what happens, if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed, he really had to sell that order, Jill. How is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000, someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it, there was several people out there doing it. And that's how you got to focus on using the total view when you trade in today's volatile markets.
All right, so cool to actually watch it happen in real time. Thanks so much for doing that for us, Fausto. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.